Welcome to the UNC Podcast, where we have real discussions about real life with real people. I'm your host, Tomas, also known as UNC, and the intent of these conversations are for two reasons. One, knowledge is transferred, and these conversations are to share life stories, experiences, and wisdom so that others who resonate can understand there is a path for healing. And for two, sometimes when we speak about our story, we come to understand we still need direction on our path. Now, today, I just kind of want to discuss something that I'm seeing and that I've been talking to a lot of my nieces and nephews out there in the community. I'm noticing that today, when we talk about relationships, a lot of the youth, the people that are in their 20s, they don't really take relationships and bonding and commitment and being together seriously. Today, what I notice is for the folks that are younger and in their 20s, it's about wants and desires and pleasure. And then if people are in their 20s, youth, and I'm talking for the men and the women, when they actually are ready for, or that they state that they're ready for a relationship, it's only after when they've been through enough damage that they don't want to go through damage anymore and they want to find themselves in a better place. They're wanting something that they wanted before they ever went through the damage to begin with. Most of the time, what's taking place in today's culture, and especially with the youth, they're connecting with so many different people. They're not even healing from the broken connections that they're having. A lot of times, these broken connections are taking place because they're trying to model the environment in which they come from. Now, I know that every person in this world doesn't come from a broken family environment, but the mindset around the structure for their life has taught them that they were not supposed to do one of the most important things they should have been doing growing up, and that's understanding relationships. It's a skill. In order to be in a relationship, family, you have to learn to be in a relationship. You got to learn to understand how to connect with people, how to understand the things that they're going through, how to understand how you can serve others and do right by others so then that they will do right by you. You have to understand how to learn and discern, where a person is coming from through their intentions. These are things that are all taught and learned, and just going out to the world and expecting to connect with someone is the wrong thing to do. And what I've noticed is that the youth today, in everyone in their 20s, with their they're not focused on connecting with each other. It's the furthest thing from their mind. I'm talking to my nephews out there, 25 to 30 years old. They have no desire whatsoever, ever in life, their mindset to get married. They don't have a desire to connect, or to bring, a woman home and to build a family. They don't feel like the women out there actually have the mindset or that that's what they're looking to do. They feel like the women, out there are just trying to connect um, in order to grab what they so call a bag or to secure their future from a financial standpoint. If the guy has himself together, but when they're young, a lot of the people, men and women, they're giving themselves to each other at without any cost, without any thought, without any regards for what their regards to understand the type of consequences they're actually doing. I was one of them. I was out there. I didn't start out that way, but I at a young age and in my early 20s, I also got off track. Once I ended up having kids at a young age at the as a teenager. I tried to create a family, then, but I wasn't ready. I didn't understand how to go about that. So I went about, life wrong, but I still tried in order, to be there. But people nowadays aren't even doing that. Um, so today I just kind of wanted to have a conversation with one of my community members. I've got one of the nieces, of the community, um, who falls within this age range. I wanted to bring her, to the stage, and kind of have a conversation because she's in this world. This is part of, her generation. I wanted to get her thoughts about how the ladies in her environment, the things that she's done, the things that she's seen, and understand the trials and tribulations that she's running into. I want to get it from a young woman's perspective. On the platform, we're going to talk to many different people, men and women, to try and get different perspectives because we really want to understand what the problems are. One of the main things that I'm really trying to coach people on is that the most important thing that you can learn in life is how to understand, to have empathy of one another, how to understand that you have value to this world and to many other people in life. And the best thing that you can do is figure out a way to be able to relate to them. Because if you can relate to them, you can teach them also how to relate to you. When we can relate to each other, we give to one another, we build with one another. That's what people are meant to do. We're not really here to obtain more than the next and do so much, better than others. There are going to be people that are higher achievers, but the reality of life is we're supposed to connect. We're not supposed to isolate. So and in today's world, more and more people, especially the youth. I mean, the young. I shouldn't even say the youth, but I guess it's starting with youth. But the young adults that are going from teenage to the young 20s, and going into their adulthood and going out into the world, they don't have the mindset throughout that time to really be serious about connecting, with one another. And most of the time, the longevity of relationships, they last when you have something to build with one another. So I want to bring to the stage one of the nieces. Let's welcome Morgan to the stage. Morgan, how are you this evening? Welcome to the UNC Podcast.
Hey,
How you doing? Morgan, now you heard me kind of talk a little bit, about some of the things that in the intro about what I want to discuss, just regarding what I'm seeing, how the people, of your age group are going about relationships. Now, and I've talked to many different, women your age. And matter of fact, let's get a few pieces of information on you. How can you provide your age to the community?
I'm 23.
23. And did you graduate college, or are you still in school?
Yeah, so I went to college right out of high school, and then now I'm in my career right now. So,
would you get a degree in?
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice. Okay. And then what did you turn that into? What is that? You said you have a job now. What do you do for a living?
So I'm a probation officer at a juvenile hall. So I work with young inmates in the jail.
As a 23-year-old, you're working with inmates, huh?
Yes, at a 20, yes. And they are, since the max age you can be is 25, they are my age in there. So the mindsets are interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Now, is that what you wanted to become? Is that where you went to school for? Is that what you were looking at?
I would say I didn't go when I seen my future and my career, I didn't see that in it. It was more of something where I knew once I got out of college, I needed to make money, and I was ready to start making money and doing something I would enjoy doing and not just working to work. So when I came across a job, I thought that would be a perfect job. I love working with kids, and I felt like I give the presence or energy of like good and genuine energy. So when I was like, working in a jail, what I'm doing is not what I thought I would be doing. And hearing the stories that I hear, it's not the stories I thought I would hear. So I do love that I got into this career because it's very eye-opening. It's taught me things that I didn't think, that I would ever learn.
I can imagine that. Are you out on your own? You living on your own?
I'm with parents right now, just stacking up until I'm financially ready and comfortable to be on my own. So giving myself a little bit of time, maybe a year and a half or 2 years, and then I'll be out.
And so when you say, and that's good, still covered with the parents. So when you say be out, this leads right into the topic that we was talking about, because being out means, are you looking to be out on your own? Or are you saying within the next 2 years that you realize that you got somebody that's gonna then take coverage, of you? What are you talking about here?
Be out on my own. Have my own everything. Me, own apartment, just be on my own, where it's my space that I can call mine. Like I did this. So
I get it. I get it. I get it. Why is that so important to say this is mine?
I think it just shows that as a female, or for me, that I can do it. I don't need anyone else to do it, or I don't need a man in order for me to get a house or a crib, or it's just something that I want. I want to be able to say that I paid my own bills, I pay my own car note, I do all this, and I'm still able to live the life that I want to do. And I don't want to wait until I'm 30 years old to be in my own house or my own crib. Like, I want to do that young, so I'm experiencing how that feels young while I still have years ahead of me to then want to move in with somebody or do this or do that. So well, that's important for me. I'm working towards something. I'm not just working to work, but I have goals and working. So it pushes me to get to what I'm trying to get to.
Before I go there, who are you trying to get to?
A family, success, happiness.
How do those things lead to you having a family?
I just feel like,
because that was the first thing you named.
Yeah, I feel like when I think of my future, I think of a family first. I feel like when I think of myself, I try to think of like from a guy's perspective. And I'm not just doing this I'm moving out on my own for a guy's perspective, but I feel that when a guy feels or sees a female that's on her stuff on her own, and he's on his stuff, it doesn't look like a female is trying to get with him because of what he got or what he has. So I feel like with me having my own, from a guy's, it looks like, okay, so she's handling her business. She obviously has a career or a steady income. She's living somewhere nice. She's doing this. She's kind of like, she's about her business. She's not just in with me for the money or for what I'm doing. So I just see that like that's a starting point for me. Like having my own, knowing that I can take care of myself, I feel like it's going to be kind of a eye opener it'll make me know myself more, because it's kind of all on me at that point. I don't have my parents to, look to when, like it's on me. It's like it's adulthood for real.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, and it's definitely a time where we do have to, we have to grow up, and society definitely has now that when I was growing up, they were having you get out the house by 18, right? So now it definitely has gone a little bit later, for kids to grow up more, because it's harder. It costs a lot more. So yeah, no, I definitely understand that. And you are right. I mean, no man wants to have a woman who doesn't know how to survive and take care of herself. Like, I mean, I think those are the natural things. What makes you an adult isn't your age. What makes you an adult is because you are adulting.
Right.
Adulting is taking care of yourself because you're fully responsible. So no, I think every man wants to have a woman that is able to do that, just as every woman wants a man that has those capabilities. So yeah, I mean, I think those are traits, but you kind of mentioned in there like things you didn't want, as far as like that you didn't have to do without a man, right? Like how does that? I mean, men definitely value that, but at the same time, a man, he's still, that's not what he values of it.
Right. I think it's just more for, I don't know if I think of it's like a control thing, where it's like, I still want the man to feel like he can take care of me, but I don't want a man to feel that if it's not for me, she won't have anything. Or I don't ever want to feel like I need to be with this man, because if I'm not, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. Like, I don't know where I'm going to go, or I don't know how I'm going to get this or get that. And it's like that. I feel like men take that, take advantage.
Where does that come from? So here's so let's go, because you're bringing up like anything that's from a negative of a man, right? So where did that come from? You're 23. So are you in a relationship? Have you been in a serious relationship where you can say this is what a man has done to you? This is what, so you can say, like, where does that come from?
No, I don't know. I have not, but I think experiences from my friends and stories that I've heard, it's kind of like, oh my God, like I cry help for my friends that I see this with. And I'm just like, if you had your own, you would not have to stick around for this. Like, you wouldn't, and it hurts. It kind of like, it hurts to see
your friend, you know, I mean, since your friends aren't here, I don't know what like those specific situations are, but I don't know if your friends, you know, look, if friends aren't making great decisions, then they may not be the best examples to take, you know, you can't, your friends are just your friends. You don't, I mean, I don't know how many you have, but there's only so many you can have that you can know their situations. There's that whatever the amount of men or the guys that they have connected with is such a small sample size.
Yeah, that is true.
Like I wouldn't utilize that, and I don't know what level of experience they have that deep to where they've relied so much. I mean, I don't know who your friends are, but you're so young. So I mean, when did you graduate college? Are these friends from college?
No, they're not from they're not from college. It's like,
I mean, are they your age?
Yeah, they're my age.
So yeah, I'm just saying, to what are they out lifing already, like with men, and trying to like where does that come from?
It's just like, I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to say social media plays a huge part, but it does. Like, it's not all I know or see, but it's like, it's there. Like, I feel like our generation is so stuck on, oh, my man does this for me, or my man does that for me. Like, you know, a lot of females are just getting clout off of who their man is, and they don't have nothing to show for themselves. But it's like, who are you as a person? I don't want to ever get lost of like, I'm not anyone. I'm just with this, like, I'm this person's girlfriend, or whatever the case may be. Like, I feel like I just want to always make sure, like, I'm good on my end. Like,
but where does it come? So the thing is that it comes from a lack. This is one of the biggest things that I actually say to the community, and it's really hard to connect with others. This is one of the main reasons why you're in your 20s. So you're probably your main like character within this topic. You're coming from a place as if you've been through the worst experiences in the world, because you're preparing. What I'm saying, I don't mean you to be funny, but you're preparing as if the worst could ever happen on something that how much experience do you really have when it comes to relationship? And let me ask you this. How many,
I don't want.
Okay, but real quick, when was your last major boyfriend? Last long-term relationship? Are you in a relationship now?
No.
When was the last long-term or serious relationship?
Serious? I wouldn't even say I really had like a serious relationship.
Now let me ask you, and that's fair, right? And I think that is actually not uncommon. I think that's very common nowadays. This is my point. Like, I think this happens. You're a beautiful young woman. You know, I'm sure there's no issues of you attracting, guys, right? And I'm sure you will attract suitable guys, but there's still something in you. And see, reality, and it's coming out without even you realizing it. You're talking about everything that could go wrong. Like, you're expecting the worst of a guy. And I definitely understand there's men out there, the young men, they're not moving in a certain way as far as relationships. But the reality is, and it's been said over and over again, men do everything that they do. They become the best of the best in all actuality to be able to attract others. It's to attract others, because you can't do everything and own everything in the world, and it's great. You can't have all the money and the power. It's to attract others, because others are influenced by and they appreciate the things that you have. A lot of times, things for men, they will do things, for a woman. They will become themselves, to be able to get, the best woman, that they possibly can get. So I'm just trying to understand that dude doesn't want to treat his woman wrong ever. And it might take him some time to get to that point, but he doesn't want to treat her bad because it's why he's working so hard to become, so he could get the best of the best, and including a woman and a family and all those things are there. So I guess I'm saying, like, there's a lot of guys like that. I know maybe it used to cost a man marriage in order to be intimate with a woman. How much does it cost him now?
Some food, a car ride.
So you have to understand that it doesn't cost, and I don't mean this like it's a price on ladies, but men attract, women. We're sexual beings. I mean, there's a physical aspect just to a man. So it used to cost him a lot. He used to have to go through a lot to earn. This ain't the world of today, but it used to be virginity. Women used to be virgins getting married. The world don't operate like that no more. But the more that women are out there, and that's what I'm for sure seeing. And I'm not just putting this on women, because men are out there too. Yeah. But the more that the men and women, are out there at an early age of just with no commitment, of just being able to connect, to see who can get the best. I was able to bag that dude. Ah, man, I was able to get this one with no commitment. I mean, there's no. I mean, the reality is men, true, really good dudes don't end up looking for ladies that end up being a part of hookup culture. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but real good dudes, and even dudes that have gone through that, and then they get themselves together, they still don't go back looking for ladies that went through a lot of it. I understand why. It's just one of the double standards kind of life. Women still kind of like men who have a lot of experience. Men don't necessarily really try, and they kind of think a little bit differently when women have that experience. And I'm bringing this up specifically because this is what's taking place a lot with the younger generation of people. It's hookup. Like, there's no commitment. And I'm trying to understand, like, why. I'm hearing it from you specifically, like there's a fear, like a man is going to hurt you. I don't know, like there's some level of disappointment, some level of, so, and I'm going to let you finish because you were getting ready to say, I'm trying to prevent, like you're saying, I haven't even had the experience and I'm trying to prevent it. What are you trying to prevent?
I think like this, not even disappointment, but it's just like, I feel like when I get to the point of, if I put all my eggs in one basket and I give a guy my all and like I'm serious about it and like I get played in my face, like I just feel like how like I just did, because it's like I don't talk to guys for the pleasure of talking to guys. That doesn't excite me. Like, oh my God, this guy hit my phone. Like I don't like talking to multiple guys at a time or anything like that, because that doesn't excite me. That doesn't make my day. That doesn't do anything like that. So I feel that when I take the time to talk to someone serious and it takes time or whatever, and if we've been talking and then I feel that I'm getting played, or it's like getting played in my face, it's like blockage. Like I'm automatically like shutting everything off in my brain to just like detach myself like from the situation, like, and it like I feel like that cycles over and over again. And I always think like, if I were serious in a committed relationship and something cheating or whatever, like, you know, something, because I just feel like it's so normalized now, like being in a committed relationship and a guy not cheating. And I know there's guys that don't cheat. I'm just saying from the standpoint from what I'm around and what I've seen and the stories I've heard from different of my friends, it's just so rare to see like a guy be all about a female. And these are females that are actually like doing good for themselves. And so it's just like, if I take that person serious and like really devote my time to this person, and he plays in my face or he does something like that, I just feel like I'm going to go like crazy. And I know like I can't think about it that sense, because I always just have that blockage and never want to like fully like commit and let myself fully open to that person. But it's just like I just like think about that, like, and every like few red flags or like few things I see like wrong or that might irritate me about a guy that I'm talking to, like my head automatically just tells myself like, okay, Morgan, just stop liking him, or don't trip, or just like fall back from the situation. Like it does it every single time. Like it just happened. Like, and I'm just like, whoa.
So let me ask you this. How are you meeting these men?
In person, like at different events, or like even over like social media and having conversations. But I'm just like, I feel like more the older I get, I'm just in the mindset like, if a man wants to do it, he will do it. Like, I don't need to persuade any guy to like do something, because if he wants to do it, he will. But I've also been told by a lot of guys like, Morgan, I don't really know, like, you don't really show that you mess with me for real, or you don't really show like this and that, like blah 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 or whatever. But in my head, it's like, you don't like me taking the effort or the time out my day, and I have a busy schedule to come hang out and be with you. Like, you should see that like I mess with you or whatever like that. Like, I'm taking this serious or whatever. But I feel like guys see it as if like, if I'm not all up on them and kissing on them and doing all this and doing all that, then it's like, oh, you don't like me like that. You don't like, and it's just like, no, like, so like, that's like the disconnect I'm having like with guys when it comes to that. They like, a lot of guys always feel like I don't like them as much as they like me, because I don't show them the sexual attention that they want me to show them. If that's even having like sexual intercourse or just kissing or like, you know, just doing all that. Like, I'm not the type of female like where I'm just like first, second date, I'm gonna be all up on you. Like, I don't even know, like, I'm not even comfortable with you like that. Like for us to even be doing all that. But it's like guys be so ready.
But so here's the thing. So one, just why I stated, guys do everything they can because they're looking for a woman to ultimately do what? They're looking to mate. You may treat every guy the same. You may give every guy the exact same treatment. But most women don't do that. Some guys have to do more. Some guys have to do less. So, but they all still kind of want the same. And that's a way that a man understands that you do like him. If you are intimate with him, he understands that. So that's kind of the ultimate goal. I'm not saying you're supposed to be intimate with somebody right away, but that's what he's trying to get to. If there's no affection, if there's nothing there, if there's no like, hey, he doesn't know that it's ever progressing to that. So in his mind, it's not going. So for example, that might not be the way that you like it, but what would you need to have happen in order for you to realize that the guy is into you?
I think just consistency. I feel
Which is what? Which means what?
Like, I don't want to say like consistent, like reassurance, or just like talking throughout the day, like just getting to know like each other, where I'm just like, if something happens, like I want to call you, or if something happens, you call me. Like, we're talking throughout the day, we're texting, we're like, it showed like it's there, like not it's just something where it's like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, we text, have a little conversation, and then next week you text me, we have a little conversation. Like, and then it's like, when you see me, it's like, bruh, we know each other. Like, why are you acting like, you know, like, but it's like, you can't expect me to be like fully like open to you when it's like, I don't even talk to you like that. Like, I don't even like, because I feel like once I'm comfortable with a person, it's way easier to, you know, have that like intimate, like, it's just hard. Like, I've had a situation where it's just like, when a guy's lifestyle has not been attractive to me, but him and his personality is not like really like unattractive, but the way his like lifestyle is makes me not attracted to him, if that makes sense.
What is it that you're looking for?
I feel like I want a committed, like, I feel like, I don't know. Like, I do know, like, I do want a committed relationship because I feel like I'm getting more comfortable within, like, myself and knowing what I want and stuff like that. So I deep down, like, at the end of the day, like, I want a husband, I want a family, I want a committed relationship. But I feel like when I get there, like, I need to know, like, 100%, like, what this is. Like, I don't want any uncertainty of, like, what I'm getting myself into, because I don't want to deal with the heartbreak or the crazy or the toxicness or all that other stuff. Like, I don't want to deal with that. But I feel like that just comes with time. Like, I want a boyfriend that's a best friend, like, not something that's just intimate. Because I feel like you hurt your significant other way worse than you can hurt your friend. Like, someone could backstab their significant other but would never do their best friend like that, or their brother or their sis or anything like that. So building that bond, that like best friend friendship, and I feel like that's what's lacking in the dudes that I'm talking to. They just want to talk here and there, do check-ins, but it's like, I can't fully be open to you if I don't have that bond with you. Like,
got it. So this is for now, my thought process, I've gone through the world and I've looked at, life the same. I don't see it. I mean, it didn't work that way, though. It truly is hard to find and bond with someone for life like that. Here's the thing. Men and women truly, really don't make great friends. I'm not saying that men and women can't be friends ever in any, I don't believe that. But what I'm saying is not like we make the best of friends, because men are still creatures that still want to be intimate with women.
right.
So men aren't really looking for that from their woman. So the thing is you might be, and this is the kind of a reset of the mind, that you have to understand what you are dealing with when you deal with men. Like, that's not really what I'm not saying you won't get a friendship from your man, but he's not looking for you to be his best friend. He has his best friends for that. He wants you to be his peace. Like, and it's not that he doesn't want all your abilities that you're able to do, all the skills that you have done, all of the intelligence that you have built within yourself that you've learned. Like, all of those are like your gifts and your value and the traits that he will look at and say, this is the type of woman who is supposed to be, here in my life, because she can help me and help, for us to get to this. And he's going to have a vision for life. The thing is, you're talking a lot about cheating, and there's things that women worry about of the unfaithfulness and things like that. And yeah, there is a lot of that in this world, but it goes both ways. I mean, there is a lot of that, but you're never going to be able to stop anyone from doing anything.
Right.
Just like, they take cheating out of it. I mean, some women just like to shop and spend money and don't say anything, and they, create debt. And men can look at that like, man, I always got to keep, paying for this because we always got to spend that. I mean, some men have that issue. It ain't cheating, but it's like, man, it cost me a lot to have her. Mm-hmm. It's just, there's always going to be different things. Those are never going to be what you really need to be looking for. You got to look for somebody. Those are things that take place because of consequences or because of things that happen within a relationship or within that person. That's a person that makes choices for their life. If someone cheats, they're doing it out of selfishness. They're doing it for reasons that they want for their own. It has zero to do with the other person. Even if they were disconnected with the other person at that moment in time, they can easily still let the other person know, since you don't want to fool with me no more, and this is how it is, I'm not going. I still have needs as a person. and you're cutting me off, I'm going to the world and doing it. A person still can be extremely real about that. It's just hard for people, hard for people to do that. You have to go, you need to find people that have a certain level of character. And some people have to learn that. They learn the character later in life. They learn to be different. But if you're just going to the world randomly, just hoping to meet somebody, what attracts you to them? How can you be attracted to somebody and understand their character about them right away? How can you determine to even exchange a phone number with somebody as far as their value on that to determine? How do you end up dating the people that you end up dating? How do you decide, yep, I'm going to give this guy my Instagram, my phone number, whatever it is? Why did that guy get it?
I feel like the approach that he's coming at me with, like how he approaches me.
Which is, so what is the type of approach? You don't have to give me specifically, but what is an approach that is like, when men do this, women, or at least I'm a type of woman that likes, what is that? I'm help me understand, like how does that dictate that he should then have the ability to get to know you more?
I feel like verbiage, like when it's not childish verbiage, like, hey, like introducing himself, then asking me what my name is, like, how are you, blah, blah, blah. Like, kind of like having small conversation a little bit, like not just straight to the point, like, ooh, you're fine, let me have your number. Like, okay, like, but hey, like, how are you doing? Like, this and that, or like, where are you from? And then like, I would like to get to, like, saying like, I would like to get to know you better. By any chance you think I can have your number, your Instagram, whichever one you're more comfortable with? Like,
so any dude that came with that approach, you can get your.
And I would have to find him attractive though.
What does that mean?
Like looks wise, like clothes wise, like.
See, like, why do we? And see, this is the part. This is the part, and I mean it. This is where, and especially the young ladies, people disagree with me all the time, but it's that you guys are so attracted to men based off what they represent on the outside. Like, it is destroying. It is the reason you guys have the most hardest time finding someone to connect to. Why does that matter so much? Honestly, I'm asking you, and I'm asking you. So it could be whatever that is. Like, why does that matter so much? How he looks?
Because I feel like if I'm attracted to how you look, like, you will keep my attention longer than like someone. Like, I know I genuinely want to talk to you. Like, not
only because I look a certain way.
But like on top of that, like just here, I would just say like appearance wise, like how you carry yourself. Like if you're out for an event, you're out. Like if you have a haircut, if your facial hair is all tame, like even like your nails, like I look at all that stuff and it's just like that all just plays a part. Like the kind of like the clean, like if you take care of yourself, like the older I get, I see more of that matters. Like cologne, like if I smell, like all that, because it's just like that just shows me that you care about your appearance. Like
but see these are all, and I'm gonna bring up something. This is what women don't realize. The young dudes, a lot of these young dudes, they don't have all of that, right? They got some and certain things, they got certain swag, but they don't really be having all of that. The older guys end up having that, or dudes who have had a ton of experience. Because all of that is, we know what attracts you. Just like you know what attracts us. You know if you put on some heels or a certain thing or wear certain things, you're gonna get attracted. We know how to attract y'all. But that ain't got nothing to do with our intention.
But it's just like it's a game. Like I just feel like
But it is. But that's why you can't, because the dating is a game. And this is what we've been told, and I mean this, and this is the hardest thing for anyone to accept. It was even extremely hard for me to accept, because I even met, I met my wife, still being out there, in the market, but it was a needle in the haystack. She was the last person I met. Ain't got nothing to do with all the other ones and all the different relationships I had before. I was doing it wrong. And most people do it wrong, because I get beauty. we all want to be physically attracted to something. I'm not, and I get that, but really it's the mentality. When you brought up taking care of yourself, just doing things about it, because that's a mentality a person has as far as their well-being. But that has nothing to do with their character. See, everything that you talk about that you're scared of from a man has to do with his character. And see what you're attracting, and you want to, but you're attracted what you're attracted to. But I promise you, you're not attracted to things that men that other women aren't attracted to. So you're attracted probably to men that aren't just like, yeah, I like these little quirky guys on nobody else like. It's not that. You like the guys that probably fit into a category that many other women like. Those guys have their character may be different. They understand to play that game. That's why you see them in that light. They know that's why they're out there. They understand how to attract y'all. And what I'm saying is you gotta look for character based. I know there's a bunch of men that have extremely solid characters and have grown up with them all their life. And there's a bunch of those men that also are okay and decently attractive. They may not have all the swag in the world and, have everything, but there's plenty of dudes that's just average and ain't tripping off all of that are decent guys. But most of those guys just don't have the same level of charisma. They don't do, a level, of things that are out there trying to attract the ladies. Yes, Unc is trying to work on those guys, not to go out there and be players, but to understand, like, you got to do things different because women also are attracted to certain things. But as a young woman, I'm also want you to understand, like, if you are focused on just how this dude is really trying to carry himself because you are attracted to that on the outside, you'll meet a bunch of dudes that have no intentions whatsoever for you. You have to find the dudes that's what they're looking for. Because there ain't no reason to go out there and date. What if every person that you like, every single person, you could, if you could just give them, I don't know, some water, you gave them a bottle of water, and every time they take a sip, as soon as you met the person you like, you got the true serum. And every single one was like, yeah, my intentions is never to be with even though you was attracted to them, would you stop at that point in time being like, oh yeah, I'm not even, or would you continue to date them?
No.
So if you gave it to somebody who you weren't really attracted to, maybe your eyes weren't, but every person you gave it to, man, yes, I'm looking for it. Yes, I'm looking for it. Yes, would you start to look at it different? Or would you say, nah, that just ain't gonna work. Ain't nobody that look, to certain, would you do that? Or would you look at things different? Now, again, this is hypothetical. I'm not saying it would be that way, but I'm just being hypothetical.
No, yeah, I feel like I would look at it different because it's no point on pursuing something with someone that doesn't want what you want or the same end goal. So what is the end goal you ultimately want? A family, marriage, generational wealth, like just to build with someone. Like,
so are you willing to build what he's looking to build, or is there something that you want to build?
I don't, because when I get on, like, when I hear this, because I feel like if I have a goal or like, this is like how I see my future, I want to do this, and that, and I meet somebody and he's like, okay, like, we still have the same end goal, but of course, like, if we're wanting to be together, something is going to have to shift between two of us, or, something's going to have to shift between one of us or whatever.
Who do you want to lead, or do you want him to lead?
Him to lead.
And then there is no, do you see what I'm saying? If he's leading, it's not that he's not going to take what you have to say. It's not that he's not going to understand the things that you want in life, but he's going to say, how do I accomplish some of those things? Does it align with, this is where I'm going? So if he's going in a direction that's different from yours, would you try and align yourself with him?
If it meant that I would be good on my end, like, I would be.
No, if he's going a different direction, like the way he wants to have a family, but the way he wants to go about doing things is different than the way that you're thinking about it. Would you align yourself to then go with the way he's doing it? Or would you say, nah?
In which way though? Like, financial way?
I don't know. Like, that's up to him. That's up to the man that you meet, because this might come down to a money thing then. See, if roughly in what category do you make over 60 grand a year?
Yes.
All right. Do you make over 80 grand a year?
Yes.
You make over 100 grand a year?
No.
All right. And you're 23.
Yeah.
All right. So you're 23, making over $80,000 a year. So you are significantly, and you're still stacking cash. So you can go do the things that you want to do. So you're looking to leave and buy a spot?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, you're not looking to build with anybody.
No.
You're looking to.
Not necessarily.
Well, because you can't build with somebody. He's gonna have. He must have at least what you have then, right? Because you're not gonna have more than him, and then allow him to catch up while you help him, or would you? You're 23, so and within a couple of years, if you do have those things, you're gonna have a lot more than if you're 25 with a home and doing all that. I'm not telling you not to do those things. I'm just saying that you're gonna have more than most 25-year-old dudes will have. You'll have more than, probably a lot of maybe even 30-year-old dudes. So I'm just
because I think also if I'm talking to dudes older than me right now that are like 27 or whatever, and I'm financially more stable than them or anything like that, I already look at like, why am I even talking to you? Like, not even financially more stable, but like how like I know what I want to do or what I'm working towards, and then I know females' mindsets are different from males' mindsets, and they're kind of in their mindsets like now what I want to do. Like, I'm just thinking of today and this, and maybe I can't be turned off or whatever, look at a guy different because he doesn't have a 5-year plan of what he wants to do, because I don't know how a man's brain is wired, if that's like how you guys think or not, but it's just like,
oh no, a man is a forward thinker. A man that is on his purpose, he's forward thinking. He understands exactly where he's at and where he's going. He may not be where you are in your life, but also you got to realize, you are making money, but you did say and it's good money. Do you have to pay for your college? Do you have student debt?
No.
Do you have, and right now you don't have to pay, a significant portion of bills. So, and where do you, what state are you in?
California.
You make great money for your age, but you also have to realize that you're not fully out there as far as taking care of everything. But you're going to be expecting, then, these guys are, what if they're not there yet? You're able to save and kind of get to that. But dudes don't, a lot of guys maybe not have that same amount of, luxury. What if he is in a plan, but he's not there yet? So now do you see, like you're going to be at a level. It's going to be hard for you. It's just natural what happens with ladies. It's hard for ladies to look when you're at a certain level to have a guy that has less than that, especially to build with, because then you would be what's considered building him up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if he has a great vision and you have more than him, would you be willing to support his lead for his vision by investing whatever your time, energy, money into him to help him get up?
Yes. The vision is there. Yeah, I would. Because it's like, if you have that vision, if you have like a plan and a mind, like if it's there, you have something what you want to do, then it's there. A man's gonna work for what he wants. Like, I can't expect a man to, of course, if that's what I want, like I want that, a man that already has his stuff together, but that's not ideal. Like you said, at me being 25 and me talking, I guess, to someone that's 25 or 30 to be where I'm at. So it's like.
So what if you met a dude 27 and he's making $50,000 a year? And he has an apartment with a roommate. And he's 27. He's got a 5-year plan. By the time he's 32, he'll probably be, maybe, by the time he's 30, he's working based off of his company. He might be at he might be at the money, where you're at that point. But he's got a 5-year plan to kind of get to where he's going. Is that a dude that you could see? He makes about average money, maybe a little bit more than average. He's got a plan to grow over the next 5 years and get there.
Yes, possibly.
Why?
Because I feel like it's all about a mindset. Like, he's doing something right. Like,
Would you help him get? But okay, so if he had a plan, would you help him get there then? During those 5 years, would you help him get to there to even faster?
If I'm financially stable and I have it, but I'm not going to break my pocket to help somebody else if I don't have it. But if I have it where I can spend the extra money to invest into my significant, and he has to be my significant other. It's not just somebody that I'm just talking to. Like, it's somebody that I want to build with, and we've been together.
So how do you build? So that's the question then. How would you build with a man? Or how do you foresee yourself building with a man?
I mean, I feel like when I say build like we're talking about future stuff of what we want. Like, we're kind of aligned in the same way. Like, we talk about the future together, what we want to do. Like, we can see each other in the long run of like marriage and kids and being with each other. Like, I know, like, this is who I want to be with. I want to be with him forever. He knows he wants to marry. Like, that's in conversation. It's not a normal, like, it's not just an ordinary relationship. I feel like I have to feel that within in that relationship. Like, okay, yeah, I can really see myself marrying him. Like, when it comes to everything else, like, it's good. Like connection wise, all that is all good. But I feel like I don't ever want to feel like I'm in this relationship. If the relationship is benefiting me, like, if I still feel catered to, even though he's making less than me, where it's just like, okay, well, he still, pays for my nails time to time when he can, or he still pays for my hair. We still go on dates, and he still takes care of the bills. Like, it still feels like I'm getting catered to. Then when it comes to stuff like that and building, then it's no problem. Like, I just don't want to feel.
He wouldn't need you then if he's able to do it.
What?
Like, he wouldn't need you to help him build. That's my whole point. That's what I'm asking. Like, because what I'm trying to point out is this is one of the. So you're saying if he gives to you and caters to you and does these things, but he's building, he doesn't have that. He's not going to have what you have. He's going to have less. You're going to own a home. You might be making money, right? Once you do that and you're on your own, you're going to be spending different. I'm saying he makes less than you. He's not there yet. He's still trying to grow himself. He's on a path. Without you, it's going to take him 5 years to get to where, that's where he's trying to get to. With you, it might. I'm saying, is that a type of guy that you would even invest in? Honestly.
Probably not. No.
So this was my point. What I'm saying to you, you're gonna be. I'm just letting you know. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just letting you know you're gonna be out there with far more than what a lot of guys will have. So you have to think, especially your age. Most men, again, 23, don't make over 80 grand at their job. You know what I mean? That's not typically what takes place. It takes a while to grow that. So you've done a lot of things correct. That's not really the majority of men. So you're gonna be men your age you're not gonna find majority of those dudes. So there's gonna be guys that are older that will probably end up being established around that. But even connecting with somebody, it doesn't matter. So one, it's gonna be hard for you. That's the only thing I was trying to let you know. Like, you're gonna make sure once you do that, the level of your guys has raised. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't, your expectation, but where they're at in life, they'll no longer be. So that what I'm saying is build mode. You're saying, hey, I would build, but guys aren't really building once you own a home and doing things, because technically you're not going to want to go backwards in life if you can do that. So you wouldn't want to say, I'm going to go from my home that I own to your apartment that you own.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So eventually, he's going to have to be at your level already, or he's going to need to have more, or be well on his way, able to do it. So those are things you just have to be careful of, when it comes to that, because women date up. You like to date up. Women want to date a man that she looks up to. that can lead her. That doesn't have less than her, or that represents less than her. That's not typically, how it goes. So that's the only reason why I was bringing that up. But here's the thing, like, I know I talk to my daughters, right? My daughters, at times always want to hear, what I'm saying in regards to relationships. A lot of times as dads, our daughters don't really think that we understand, how men operate. And a lot of times, ladies choose men on their own. And they choose it for whatever the reasons are. This is no shade to whatever the reasons are, but whatever the reasons aren't based off what is truly going to be best for the longevity or in a relationship that goes to the end. Because that is all based on character. Even I've been always a good dude, but my character wasn't always the best because I was lost. I didn't know exactly how to go about being in a relationship for long term. Now, you said you with your parents. So do you ever go to, when you talk about guys and stuff like that, you talk to your father about those things? I mean, your father also, did create you, and your father has, I'm sure been out to the world, and then he is married to your mom. So at the end of the day, there's some level of character that he had that was able to get your mom. There's still a level of things that are there, so you can I don't know how they went about as far as meeting each other, and we don't need to know that, but did you ever go to your dad as far as to be able to understand the type of dudes that you were even dealing with?
No.
How come?
I don't know. I just feel like the relationship isn't there to do that. I feel like I go more to my brothers than I do my dad, because I feel like my brothers brought that conversation on to me, like when I was younger, like, guys will do this. Guys,
you got the brothers.
Yeah.
You talk to your brothers about the dudes? I mean, do you like talk to them like, hey, this is what's...
Yeah.
All right. So then, because one of the main things that I find is it seems like, a lot of the younger generation of ladies today don't get male guidance. They don't get any type of the close male friends that they know or family about the type of men that they might be dealing with. Men can smell other bullshit on men. Like it's just easy. And a lot of that can be there. I promise you, most of the men that are in your life, they ain't against you. They just, men just kind of get territorial, especially when it's good women. So, I would definitely, encourage that, because I think that's something that, for whatever reason, and I don't mean any disrespect to you or to any other lady out there, but, a lot of times ladies do not use the right senses when it comes to having the men, in their life. And they just don't want to hear somebody. A lot of times men will be like, that dude ain't no good. Women don't want to hear that. Like a lot of times when they feel like they got them a prize, nah, that's a prize. You can't tell me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, is that, again, I'm not even trying to get, really on women. I know we kind of probably got off topic a little bit. And I don't want to take up, an extended amount of your time, but I do want to just kind of really get more of your thought process. Just like, so currently today, let me ask you this. Are you dating?
Yes.
All right. No boyfriend right now?
No.
And for majority of your friends, are your friends in relationships?
One.
Of the majority of your friends, what percentage are in a relationship?
Like, I have, out of like my friend group that I'm really close with, just one of them is in a relationship, and her relationship is shit.
So what percentage of your friends? So very few.
Yes, very few.
So this is, and I will tell you this. This is zero shade to any of your friends. I don't know, but single women will keep other women single, and it's zero to do with anything trying to be negative. But there is you have to be around people that understand how to look at men for value and quality. I don't know how you guys choose your men, how you go, will put yourself out there to be seen, or for them to, for you to see them. But if everyone is running into kind of the same issues, it means you guys are executing the same plan, and it's really probably not the one that is going to, give you the best benefits. As far as that, like, do all of you want to be in relationships? I mean, honestly, or is it just you kind of want to just, you don't want to be alone? Do you really want to be in a relationship?
I mean, I don't want to be in a relationship. Like, it's not something that I'm looking for. But if it were to happen,
see, then that's what I'm saying. No, and I just want you to understand. No, this is real. No, it's not. But listen, who would ever want to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want something?
But I feel like that just sounds like,
what is wrong? That's one of the most important. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I really mean it. This is my whole point. Like, this is probably the biggest like aha of this whole conversation. The whole point is the young generation don't think relationships are that important. Think about it. I want it, but I really want it. But that's what I'm saying. It's not. The younger generation does not feel like relationships are really what matters. And I'm trying to get you guys to understand it is the most important thing that you can possibly have in your life. It sounds, we've been taught, I promise you, niece, that we've been taught it's about getting that money and being stable and secure. We've been taught that I need to have these level of things. And so right now I need to get to this level. I need somebody who's going to be at this level with me. I don't know if I really want a relationship, but I definitely want to make sure that it's at least at this, because I got things that I want. I'm not faulting you. I swear I'm really not. It's the mindset. This is really what is taking place. So you have to think about this. Do your friends have the same mindset?
I feel like I'm different from all my friends.
But do they have the same mindset when it comes to that? You saying they absolutely just want men? They absolutely just want relationships? Or are they just out there putting themselves in them, trying to get the same thing?
Need the attention from males. They just like seek that of needing to like be around a male. Like,
well, that's good that you have control. You have control. I mean,
and I think that's honestly because I've been around my brothers. I grew up with them, like with boys and males my entire life. So I don't seek for that male attention. Like, I don't need to be around a male 24. And my friends don't, like, they don't have brothers so it's just like whenever they get a guy's attention, it's like, oh yes, he called me cute. Like, and it's just like, I don't know.
That's a blessing for you. I mean, and a curse at the same time.
Yeah, I'm like, is it? Because I feel like,
I mean, it's a blessing from the standpoint that you have control over of needing attention, but you may have turned it way down, right, to where you don't require, and men still want to be needed.
No, yeah, I do feel that. I just feel like, honestly, I just feel that, like you said, relationships aren't valued the same way they were in the past. So men don't work hard for a relationship because they can get what they need out of a female like that. It's like, why work hard for you?
But who is that on?
The female?
If it's not hard, if it makes it easy to get you, how's that hard? Why is that our fault?
But
why is that a man's fault? I should say, not our.
Because it's like we get faulted, we get blamed at the end, or we get hurt at the end because we made a man wait for this and this and that and made him work hard. When it's like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's about his character. That means if you pick, dudes will wait because they got other females, and it must mean that you're not around them all the time. It must mean that you ain't paying it. A lot of that you guys talk on the phone is. I know the young culture. Y'all text message. Y'all sending messages. It ain't even no phone conversation. Do you guys even really talk? The amount of communication between when you date, what percentage is actually talking? It could be phone or live. what percentage is actually talking verbally as opposed to texting?
Probably like 70-30.
70-30 text?
Yeah.
Think about that. How can you ever know somebody? It's literally no different than just a person catfishing behind a computer, pretending to be everything that you want them to be. Like when the reason why the older generations probably have a little bit more experience and are okay with dealing with people is because we didn't have the devices to do it. Like you had to go up.
It's so true.
Like you had to I couldn't connect with somebody in Texas.
Yeah, I mean,
I could only connect what was in my area.
Yeah, like older people actually know how to have a conversation and say things, and our generation doesn't. Like, I just feel like the approach, this generation wants a female to chase them. Like guys want to be chased by a female. Guys want to be, and then you come in a conversation of who's the prize in the relationship and this and that, and it's just like, I don't know, I think the generation is just getting worse and worse because it's like I don't know what a relationship is anymore. When I hear relationships or people are talking on serious levels, it's like guys are also like getting like, I don't even know, because this goes into a whole different topic, and I honestly, the Bay Area of where I'm around is just like, it's just like doomed. And being in my job, even though it's kids and stuff, like, but it's also 21 and 22-year-olds in there, like their mindset and like what is offered or what I've seen for like my age when it just comes to clubs in the Bay Area and just the cities around me, like it's no progressing, it's no relationships out of like the way they think. Like,
but I mean, club, because here's Morgan, I mean, more than you see, we've all just grown up in this society and in this world. It was laid out in front of us, but the way that people connect really isn't like that. Those are events that you can go to have social gathering. Most of the time, it's really hard to find somebody just randomly. Like, that's what I'm really just want you to understand. We all come from different backgrounds. Now, right. you have a background that probably has a little bit more structure. You got brothers, you got mom and dad, home and stuff like that, right? But there's a lot of people that come from backgrounds that aren't like that. And there's so many people out there, but they still know how to look good. They still know how to carry themselves well, but they have no idea how to go about relationships. They didn't really see it. Right. Relationships are modeled. I need you to understand that. Relationships are modeled. You need to see it. Understand what you're trying to do. You can come up with anything in your head. If you've never seen it, how can you have it? It means it's not real. You have to look at what's real and model after it. You got to look at the best way to see is how your parents did it. And the parents ain't going to do anything perfect because they had to go through whatever they went through, but they still did some things right. That's why they're together, right? They still did some things right. You got to understand from them because, you also, it's one of the main reasons why I ask, daughters when they, do you talk to your dad or your father about any of the men that you choose? Because he understands you. He also understands men, and they can help you talk, about the things that were successful for them and were not successful. Parents ain't trying to prevent kids from our kids, even though you guys are young adults, from being. We definitely want for our daughters to find a dude that is going to protect her and cover her. Like, we would love for that. That's the best at ease feeling that a dad can ever have. So we want that. The last thing that I want is for my daughter to be out there on her own, living life just because she can by herself. Because, yeah, she has a home. I know she can make money. But, I mean, can you protect yourself from everything in the world without a dude? I mean, yeah, I guess so. But you still going to end up needing a man for something. Men are needed. Women are needed. So I don't want my daughters ever to go out there and be unprotected. So, I mean, I want them to find a great man. That helps us feel so much at ease as fathers. I'm trying to tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely encourage that, but it's mindset, Morgan. I mean, the reality. I mean, you have validated that your age group is not getting together. I mean, would you say, and that's not really, what's taking place? I mean, young dudes ain't ready to connect. I can tell you that right now. I mean, young men at the age in their early 20s, they haven't done enough really in life in order to get there. They would have to meet a girl that's basically his age, and it have to be within, I mean, when they connect like that nowadays, it's going to be college based. There's going to be some level. People don't stick together from high school no more. I mean, that's just not how it is. It's not reality. I mean, and that's just kind of, how the world is kind of set itself up to be. But in order to be right, I mean, you got to have somebody with character and understand, who they are. I mean, I'm not going to talk about religion or anything like that, but you got to have somebody that has a moral compass about themselves. And the only way to have that, they got to believe in something that's bigger. Like that, this is just like truth. I just want you to understand. You need to understand a dude's character. If he doesn't have, I ain't talking about, hey, I believe in God, I go to church. I mean, that could be it. But I mean, what does he understand about that? What does he believe that he means, to the world? But on the real though, Morgan, I mean, I'm not trying to bring up church or nothing like that, but are you connected with your spirituality at all? Do you really understand, like, take Morgan, the 23-year-old woman that's, here on this video. Like, think about like your spirituality, what controls Morgan. Like, do you have a true connection about how you should operate yourself? No. And that's fair, because what ends up happening is, why we out here, the job, the money, the resources, the things like that. And in reality, I promise you, it doesn't matter that much. It'll always be there. I can guarantee up to this point in life, you have learned enough to always be able to take care of yourself for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No, I mean that. Mm-hmm. And in reality, as a parent, that's what we're supposed to get our kids to. Mm-hmm. Be able to, so you can take care of it. So if something happened to us, you know how to go ahead and be able to maintain, you ain't gonna die.
Yeah.
But the reality is, it's like, but then it's to go out into the world, go out and then recreate. So now you can do your thing, but then recreate, because you're gonna end up creating. Reason why a family is kids. You're gonna end up being your parents one day, doing the same thing. But that is far more important about going through that process than how much you have as you're doing it. You have learned enough to always be able to take care of. It's hard to get out of that mindset, but once you start understanding kind of a little bit more spiritually about what you're designed to do, I encourage you, man, every now and again, just take a look at, even if it's just some, I won't say, can't just tell you to open up and read your Bible. That ain't, that's not always going to be realistic, but that is something that you obviously can always get to, but at least just understand, you believe in a higher power?
Yeah.
All right. So just at least understand maybe some of the basic things about, how, we operate. Because as a lady, it's natural for you to want to have a man that is a leader, mm-hmm. because it literally states that that's what men are supposed to do. It's natural. Like you don't have to be taught it. Yeah, I don't even know. It's just a natural thing that you kind of understand. You see how boys are. You see how your brothers were. You see, like, okay, guys kind of act like this. We ain't supposed to really act like that as a woman. Like there's things there, because there's definite. And I'm bringing this up just specifically, regarding you. I'm talking about more since talking to you as a woman, to understand just, as how your spirit can operate yourself as you're here, because it's easy for you to connect to me. Yeah. It's like it's a superpower that's been given to you. Like, as a woman, you have a superpower that we as men don't have. Mm-hmm. You can attract a man for anything just like that. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
We can't do that. You never had to go get your college degree, get that job, or buy a home, do anything in order to do that. Do you realize that?
Not real, like
What?
like
So men weren't trying to approach you long before you had all that?
no, they were.
Men weren't trying to, you didn't have men probably trying to gas you up saying that they would do different things for you and all this and that back then?
Yeah.
You didn't have any of it. Why do you, so what is, it's not that is required.
I'm speechless.
Just being real. But men have to, but that's not how men are. Men have to completely build themselves into something.
The older I get, the least and least it like of the traditional family is like not here anymore. Like the aspect of that.
So check this. This is when you truly realize that things, are out of whack. When for the majority of life, long before you and I were probably here, just civilization, people being here, what was universally condemned is now celebrated. What was universally celebrated is now condemned. And those who refuse to celebrate are then condemned. Meaning, when you see tradition, you start hearing, oh, she's weak, she's being controlled. There's something going on when you start talking tradition. And then the ones that don't believe in that new concept, they become condemned. That's when you know the world is at work and things are taking place. It is all complete contradictory to everything that once worked. It's not working, right? But everybody has the mindset that this is how it should go. Now it's and it's a trip to really think about that. It's hard to, it's what we know. We've been told, I grew up with it. I grew up thinking romance, that I grew up in the, 90s, as far as like, I'm high school in the 90s. So all that R&B, that love, that whining and crying, the men, like all of that stuff was really, out there, kind of really portraying romance, love, being soft and kind of doing different things. And I can tell you, that was the mindset that I actually thought worked, went out to the world. Man, that shit didn't work. That shit did not work. Most women did not like that. It was too much. It was like, yeah, he's too nice. It's like this, he's weak. It's just not ain't none of that out there. I mean, the world was kind of set up it's been set up, society's been set up to kind of change everything that life, once was. Yeah. It's not, it's not that. So, I mean, ultimately, I just kind of want at least to have a mindset because, like Morgan, like this is what's really happening. Now, I'm trying to do the work with the fellas. I'll be upfront. I'm trying to do the work with the fellas so the fellas understand that they got to do some things that's different, right? That they got to go about, different. But dudes in their early 20s never going to be ready for marriage. They're not. They're not going to be there. Women, you guys date up. So it's not a guy in his 20s that's going to be able, typically for the most part, to be able to take care of a woman yet. So if you do, and if you can get guys to start thinking about that, they're going to have to be within the concept of when they meet girls in college or as soon as they, a guy's not going to be ready yet. He's going to have to be met her long before in building. He's probably going to have to already have come from a family that already kind of has some things kind of already put together. Because how the hell is a dude in his 20s going to have anything to be able to take care of a woman? He's not. He ain't got to do it 100%. But what I'm saying is like, he's not going to have enough. He ain't going to have the time. He's got to be busy. That dude he hella has to build himself. Like he got a whole lot to do because he got a lot of responsibility. But the ultimate goal is to build yourself to get there. To be able to take care of the things that you have. Because as a man, if I'm leading, I'm responsible for them all. My wife, my kids, whatever it comes with that, I'm responsible. I'm going to do everything I can to be able to understand that. I may need my wife's help sometimes. Sometimes her help might be that she's working and I need finances. That might be for years. It costs a lot to live out here, but I'm still going to try and do everything to strive to where she doesn't have to. Right. And if I have a plan for that, she can buy into that. Most men are like that. Most men are like that. Most men that I know, they're like that. And every man that I know isn't my age. I mean, I've met a lot of young dudes and they coming up in their later 20s and 30s. Let me say this. The dudes that I've known the dudes that I've been around, maybe not the guys that I, have met, just, new people, not, but the ones that I've kind of, maybe been a part of my life, or the people that have been around, it ain't coming from the things that I say, but I think maybe there's still, a level of them that they're not looking at women taking care of them. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Your brothers, let me ask you this. Do your brothers want women to take care of them?
No.
Does your father want a woman to take care of him? Mm-mm. Do you have uncles or male cousins that want women to take care of them?
No.
So not even in your family, right? Do you really have that? That's not really the norm. Like, I mean that. They just aren't there. But it don't mean that the men ain't horny and not out there trying to get access to pretty girls and will do whatever they can to get them.
Right.
So, but this is what I want you to understand, Morgan. Like, most relationships don't go to the end with this level of spice throughout life, because I've
never seen it though.
But it's not. Is it? I'm not sure what you're looking to see from your parents. I mean, that part I don't know. But I mean, how come you don't look at? So what you're trying to say what you haven't seen. Why don't you just focus on the things that you have seen? I'm sure you've seen some positive. I'm sure you've seen some negative. But the huge positive is they've been together for 20 plus years, right? Do they get along? Then I don't understand what. I mean, I'm not trying to get into your parents' business. Don't matter. I mean, they've given some level of a model of how to be together. Nothing is perfect. I think a lot of people feel like it's been told like there's some, like this fantasy land or fantasy idea of how relationships are supposed to work. All that vibe and the sparks and the chemistry, all that is, and I mean this, most of that is just some level of sexual connectivity or desires. Most of that is nothing to do with, oh my God, it's a stimulation. And if it is a stimulation of the mind, it's a stimulation. It's just a high. Because as soon as they get you off that vibe, they ain't about nothing. Ah, man, it was perfect in the very beginning. And dudes do the same. Trust me. I'm just talking to you, so I'm focusing in on it from a lady's perspective. So I'm not really trying to single out ladies, but dudes do it as well. I just don't, you've got people that have, models in your life, and you might just want to, ask them about it. That's all. It's about peace. It's about.
And that's so funny you said that, because I did this class for my job. And it was like all these words like that mean something to you. It's probably like 50 words. And it was like break down like 5 words that like if you had all these 5, you would be the happiest like you would ever be. And I don't remember all the 5. And it was like out of those 5, break down 1 word that if you had this, you like nothing else would matter. And my word was peace. Good.
Because that's a very strong word. You know what? Yeah, we can let's set up another call. I'm gonna finish this up right here, but let's set up another call and let's talk specifically about that.